So the standard, we will be seeing the standard costing material variance. The standard cost, the material variance is very easy if you understand the graph. So I'm going to go ahead and start from there. So you see this side would be your quantity, and this side would be your price. That's the first thing. Now there will be four factors, you can say it: AP, SP, SQ, then AQ. This would be actual price. This would be standard price, standard quantity, then actual quantity. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the graph, and I will explain it a bit more soon. So let's start with price. So let's put standard price here. So it comes as P. Standard price will obviously be associated with standard quantity. So here comes XQ. Then the actual price is a bit higher than the standard price, so actual price comes here, and the actual quantity comes here. Let's just join this two. Okay, this is the first step of the graph. The second is to just make a dotted line here. Now this portion, I'm gonna go ahead and shade it. This portion is called the price. Why it's called price, I will explain later. Now then let's keep it here. So another concept we have to understand now. First thing is they always ask for material cost variance. Okay, so material cost variance is divided into two, based on price and based on quantity. Now I'm going to go ahead and say the material cost variance formula. Material cost variance is the biggest thing here. All other things are just subheading of it. So material cost variance is equal to standard minus actual. It's another important one. Standard minus actual. Standard would be your standard price into standard quantity minus actual price into your actual quantity. This is the first formula that is applicable to any form of sums. This is the first and the most important. Now this can be divided into further two. Here comes the material price variance. How much the material actual price varies. Now this is similar, but just a little bit of changes. So here comes the graph. So where is price located in this? Standard price to actual quantity. So SP into AQ. Then what's the topmost end of the point? So AP into AQ. SP into AQ minus AP into AQ. This is the formula for the price variance. Now this quantity is also called as another thing, usage. That's I'm gonna write here, material usage variance. Now see, usage would be this part. This whole part is called as usage. Generally, let's go to usage. So now, how can I find this part? Standard price, standard quantity, standard price, actual quantity. If I go with actual price, it would include this whole content too. We don't want that. We only want this specific box. So SP into SQ, SP into AQ, SP into SQ minus SP into AQ. That's your third formula. It can be further simplified by writing this out, but this is easier. Just make sure you understand this. Next, Now another thing that you have to understand to do this properly is material. This is a circle. This is a smaller circle, and this is another small circle. Now this would be your material cost variance, and this circle would include your material price variance and material usage variance. So what this simply means is that when you find MCV, then you find MPV and then MUV, when you add these both, the material price variance and material usage variance, you have to get the material cost variance. This is another important thing. This can be used to verify your answer if it's right or not. The next is now these are formulas are just for if there are only one material. Say like they will give just a material. Now when there are two materials, two more formulas will be added. These 1 2 3, this 1 2 3 will be there, then another. So the first formula, second formula, third formula, then fourth. That's your, this comes under your material usage variance. Then it's further divided. Remember this this is further divided into two. Material yield variance, material mix variance. Mix variance is nothing but since you mix two materials, it's called metal mix variance. Now I will tell you how you can find this in the graph. So this is like so material yield variance and material mix variance is a part of material usage variance, which is here. So the first thing you'll do is you divide it equally, or let's just say it as a straight line. This line is called as RSQ, revised standard quantity. Now revised standard quantity. Now this first part is called as yield. The second part is called as mix. So if you want to find yield, you only want this part. How will I do that? Standard price, standard quantity, standard price, revised standard quantity. MYV is equal to standard price, standard quantity minus standard price into revised standard quantity. The revised standard quantity has a formula. I'll tell you it as soon as I know this. Then material mix variance, which is for, okay, let's go back to this graph. This is the mixed part. So standard price into revised standard quantity, then standard price into actual quantity. Standard price into minus standard price into actual quantity. That's the formula. So now RSQ, how will you find the RSQ? Revised standard quantity. Standard quantity is equal to total of actual quantity by total of standard quantity into specific standard quantity. Standard quantity. For example, total of standard quantity means A is here, B is here. A has 30, B has 20. This is your standard. Actual being for A 40 and B, let's say 30. Now the total actual quantity would be 40 plus 30 is equal to 70. Total standard quantity would be 50. Specific standard quantity would be for A 30. Similarly, for you have to find this another one. You can't find one specific RSQ and use it for both A and B. You have to find for each one. So A would be 30. Sorry, am I 50? Sorry, 70 by 50 into its specific quantity, which is 30. Similarly, B would be, this would be the same, 70 by 50 into 20. Now I guess I have covered most of the things. So the conclusion is one material, three formulas. Two material, five formula. That's it.